All right. So that's next. Let's mess with the sound. I'm going to measure the resistance of the potentiometer in the cabinet and see if that's right, because it could just be that the potentiometer has no ability to lower the resistance. So if it's like, let's say, a 5K potentiometer, if there's 5K of resistance right now between the two wires, then it's like the pot's turned all the way down. And if I'm turning that and it's all screwed up down there, if I'm turning that and it stays at 5K, well, you're just never going to get high volume. So let's look into that next. Okay, folks, so this is the schematics. This is how the volume control is wired up. I looked it all up. It's a 50 ohm, 12.5 watt rheostat. Now, I've had people tell me that it's actually a potentiometer, but all the ones I've seen are labeled as a rheostat. So I don't know. I think after it gets a certain wattage, they're always called rheostats. But what I've heard is that a rheostat uses 2 wires and a potentiometer uses 3 wires. But I'm pretty sure this one's called a rheostat. So, but we'll see. It's not that important. I'm just trying to preempt the hate mail. So, but somebody tell us down below. We need to know for sure. So, the way it's wired, you get 2 lines coming off of the power supply that come down. You have a white wire going to one extreme and a brown wire going to the other extreme. Now, there should be 50 ohms resistance between those 2 wires because it's a 50 ohm rheostat. And then the wiper is white and brown. Okay? So depending on where you set it, it's either closer to there or closer to there. So like, for instance, if you were measuring resistance between here and you turned it all the way one way, it should be about 50 ohms resistance. And if you turn it all the way the other way, it should be about 0 ohms resistance. So mine measures 0 ohms resistance between the white wire and the brown wire. That shouldn't be. So let's see. Here is the wiper. It goes to... We're following it. We're following it. It goes straight to the speaker. So the wiper goes straight to the speaker. There's just one big old nice speaker in the top of it. I use nice. I think it's nice, but it's old. So, and then the other one, the other line to the speaker, goes to one lug of the potentiometer. So this is a speaker line, and this is a speaker line. So this is the positive, this is the negative, basically, you know, which means that this should be the negative, and this is the volume coming in, whatever, I don't know. It's confusing. But if you go back here, okay, these are your 2 speaker lines coming out, 1 and 2. They are shorted together. So I don't think that's right either. So if I remove this connector and I check the resistance between speaker 1 and speaker 2, it is shorted. So let's see what the schematic looks like, see if that's right. So here is the schematic for the regulator. So this connection and this connection are shorted together somehow. Can you see where it could possibly short? I don't see it unless it's like a solder splash or something. Alright, so we're going to pull out the power supply and check it on the bench and see if we can see if there's a reason those are shorted together. Maybe it should be like that. I don't think so, though. Okay, yeah, I'll pull out the power supply and we'll check it out. Okay, so it's these 2 pins, which is speaker 1 and speaker 2. So this thing gets knocked off a lot. I've seen it before where that gets broke off. So here's the deal. If you check between speaker 1 and speaker 2 on the board, they are not connected. However, all they do, if you look, one runs to one pin, one runs to another pin. The 2 pins are not shorted. A little sloppy, but it's not shorted. But if you measure resistance between the two actual pins, it's shorted. So what's going on there? There's something funky going on with that connector. That's what's going on. It's shorted, but one of the pins isn't touching. Like that's not touching that, but they're both touching that, or something like that. Something weird's going on. So I'm going to take that connector off and we'll get a good look underneath and figure it out. It's the actual connector is shorting them together. So I think what's happening is the signal's making it through ungrounded or something like that. Like the other side of the signal's not going through right. It's getting like half of it, and that's why the volume's not right. So let me pop the connector off and we'll see if we can get to the freaking bottom of it. So with the connector removed, I verified nothing on the board is shorted. Those two pins are completely separate from each other. And the test is connected to there, and that's connected to there. Everything's cool. But with the connector removed, the two pins are shorted together. Now, if you look at it, I cannot see a short anywhere. I don't see any kind of connection between the two. So I'm thinking maybe it's the housing itself somehow is electrically connected. So it might be that there's some kind of oil impregnated in it or something that's connecting it. I don't know. I don't have the right tool to remove those pins though, and I don't have any new ones. But explain that to me. You're seeing what I'm seeing, right? I've checked and checked and checked because it seems like now that can't be. They are not touching. They're in separate. Oh, wait a minute. What is that? Are we seeing something? Is there something in the middle there? Boy, it sure looks like it, doesn't it? There is something inside of there connecting the two. How the hell did that happen? See, right in the middle, it looks like there's... See how these don't look like they're touching? But those two, it looks like there's something in the middle. What in the world? There's something growing inside of this connector. We got to get that out of there. What the hell is it? Boy, my videos are going to a whole new level, people. You'll only see this kind of crap here. What the hell? I don't see it now. There's something down in there that is somehow connecting to that one too. I don't know how that's right. See how the one's backwards too? Like these three are out that way and this one's backwards. They may have somehow pierced the wall and it's moving, it's leaning over and touching this one and the other one. I don't know how though. Look how thick that is. We're going to get to the bottom of it, people. I'm going to pry that damn thing out of here. I don't have the right tool to remove it properly, but doesn't mean it can't be removed. It just can't be removed properly. Listen, you hear how Strange Magic's playing on the radio? Right? So Strange Magic comes on the radio. I pull the thing out. Look, it's just fine. Nothing wrong with it. I've got an extractor, but it's the wrong size, but we're getting it going. Okay, now, if you look, there's nothing in the damn thing. Right? But if you look down in there, see how there's something there? It's like, what the hell is that? This is what YouTube is for, people. It's for videos like this. Like, what the hell is down in there? There's something growing in there. Okay, so if I then, okay, one-handed, I can do it, I think. if I test between the two cavities here, we're gonna get it. This is gonna be cool. Look, folks, I don't have to film this. If you don't like this kind of stuff, just don't watch. What the hell? There's some kind of alien inside of my socket here. What the hell is that thing? There is a little tiny thing inside of my socket, shorting my audio out. That's why my Asteroids can't play. Why me? How come I'm running into this crap? I'm just trying to fix the Asteroids. There's something in there. You see it? If I touch it, it's shorted. All right. So I'm going to pull out some more. If I can get all 4 of these out, I think I've got another one of these plastic things. But I don't think I can get them all out without destroying them. Let me keep working on it. Now, folks, I know you might be tiring of this quickly, but there is a piece of metal down inside the connector, right in the middle, that connects 2 of the cavities together. You see it? Look at the damn thing. It's right in the middle. It must have been cast in it. There's no way you could get something down in there like that. Look, it's a little piece of metal that goes from that hole to that hole, and it connects the 2 together and screws up the sound on my Asteroids. And it's probably been like that the whole damn time. Look, there's nothing on the outside. There's no hole where it went in. But if you look just right with the light, you can see it in there. It's cast in the middle of the freaking... See it? You can see the little... Right about there, you can see one end of it. See it? There's a little piece of metal inside the damn Molex connecting both sides together, and that's what's shorting it together. How in the world is that even possible? I've never seen anything like that. All right, I'm going to try to get the other 2 pins out, and then we'll put another one on, and hopefully that will fix our volume. There was this little girl at the flea... We used to sell things at the flea market. This little girl used to come in all the time to the table, and we sold video games and stuff. So we had these video games set up, and it was way up on the table. And you play the play choice or whatever back then. And so this little girl used to come in our booth and play the video game. And so one day she says, "Ronnie," and I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Can you turn up the volume?" Volume, people. Okay, folks, so I looked online, and the housing isn't that expensive. I thought I had some, but I don't. The housing isn't that expensive, but these solder tail connectors are discontinued. So these are like PCB mount connectors. They have a little tail on the end. Those are discontinued. So I thought, well, damn, I hate to do that, but I guess I'll have to steal one off another board. So I've got another one here. This one's mounted a little differently, but right. But I hate doing that. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So then I started thinking, what if I drill a hole in the side of it and drill the damn thing out? Look at that damn thing. There was a little piece of metal cast in the middle, and there was no hole on either side. Now, you're going to think, oh, well, it happened whenever they put the pin in. It couldn't have. It couldn't have. Look how thick the wall is. Wasn't enough force to drive it all the way through the wall. It must have been in there when they cast the thing. So it's just a little piece of metal, I guess off of a pin. I don't know. But it was all the way through one chamber into the other chamber. Shorten it out. And that was the whole problem. That's why the sound didn't work. Alright, so I'm going to try to put the pins back in it and then try to mount it back on the board, and hopefully that'll get us where we need to be. This one terminal has the wing missing off of it. See how it's there on that side, but it's not on that side? So it was off that pin. I wonder if whenever they install them in the factory, if it just goes on there so quick that it would have enough force to drive it all the way through. All right, I think we're about to the bottom of the mystery. Okay, so they're no longer shorted. Now here's the ironic thing. That's those two pins. These two pins are supposed to be shorted, but you don't use them. Those are both grounds, and they're not used in the cabinet. It's the strangest little setup. You only use these two pins. So I could have just turned the connector around, but if I did that, it's keyed. So in the cabinet, I would have had to rewire the connector in the cabinet, and then you would have had a power supply that won't work in any Asteroids except that one. And then you would have a connector in the cabinet that couldn't use any other Asteroids power supply. So you don't want to do that. This fixed it. This is how you fix it, people. Fix it like that. Like I did it. Did you see that part? Fix it like that. Okay? Don't fix it that. Fix it like this one. This part right here. Not that. This part. Fix it like that, people. Okay, now I could do some more stuff on this power supply, like recap it and stuff like that, but I found in the past it doesn't really help it. It doesn't change anything. All of these caps, I don't have an ESR meter, but all of these caps seem to hold up pretty good. Knock on particle board. You could argue too, though. Look at this. 2N3055 Motorola from 1980. Ooh, lordy, lordy. You could argue that you should replace that, but it's hard for me to do that. The thing's still working. It's hard for me to replace one that's still working. I don't think transistors wear out. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just don't believe that they fail after a certain number of hours. If the thing's still working, I'm going to leave it in there. So we'll try it in the game. Got it mounted back in there. Oh yeah. How sweet it is. Alright, last thing we need to look at. We're still probably going to have to replace the potentiometer because it turns and everything, but it's a little screwed up. Last thing we're going to look at is why does the one LED never light up? So when you're in game over, you only get one LED blinking. There is a some kind of transistor or something on the main PCB that makes those blink. But it's also common for it to be wired wrong, and it's also common for the LED itself to be burnt out or the leg broke on it. So let's find out which it is. Okay, so this is the back of the control panel. This is button 1. This is button 2. Button 2 is not blinking. Okay, the game is up and running. Now, the way these are wired, there are, I don't want to take them all off, but I'll take a couple of them off so you can see a little better. So there are two wires here. See, there's a black one on the end. That's the common connection for the switch. And then there's an orange wire here in the middle. That is the signal connection for the switch. Okay? And then there is a red wire, which is the voltage for the diode. And then a white wire, which is a ground for the diode, I believe, or something like that. The signal for the diode off of the board. Now, I may be wrong about that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go double check that in the manual just to make sure that that's right. It could be that the orange and the white need reversed because we've got the signal wire for the switch and the signal wire for the diode reversed, but that's probably not true because I think you can start a two-player game. But I'm going to go check, just to double check in the manual to see how that's supposed to be wired. Okay, so I checked and I was correct. So it should be simple enough to check this LED by just simply swapping the two signal wires for the diode. So this is a white and black wire. Okay, and this is a white wire. Now if I plug the white wire in to the one player, the diode should blink because it was already working with the other signal. And it is, it's blinking. Okay, and then if I plug the white and black wire in over here, we probably won't get anything. Yep, we get nothing. So what does that prove? It proves that the board is sending out a signal telling this LED to blink, because when I take this wire and put it on the first one blinks. But this one doesn't for some reason. So there's only a couple other things it could be. It could be that this power wire isn't any good, although it's probably just daisy chained to this one. But you could have a situation where you got a bad crimp or something. Right? So if we do the same thing, swap these two, if you can make it reach. That does not make the LED blink. And if I take the one that's hooked up over here and put it over on the first one, that does make the LED blink. So both of our wires, when hooked to the first LED, make it work properly. So it's not a wiring problem. It's also not the board, because the board is sending out a signal on this wire and separately on that wire. So when you put a quarter in, this one starts blinking. When you put 2 quarters in, this one starts blinking. Right now it's on free play, they should both be blinking. This one never blinks. But if you take that wire and put it over here, it blinks as if this is the second player one. So the wiring's all fine. So it's got to be something in the actual start button. So we'll pull it off and check it out. So here is the switch. Atari made all of these kind of the same on all of their games, or very similar on all of their games. And they had these little cones on the top of the cabinet. Now if you look, this one's melted a little bit from cigarettes. And they had smooth cones, textured cones, aluminum cones, anodized cones, black plastic cones, short cones, and tall cones. And then they had these buttons with an LED and without an LED. And they're little cherry buttons. So it's got a cherry switch on it, and then you see cherry is also on the housing up above it. Now I don't know all the part numbers and all that out of this, but there are people online that are very much experts about it. You can see that that one's marked as a common on the switch. That one's marked as normally open, and that one's marked as normally closed. So you can use the switch just different ways. .1 amp, 125 volts AC. Really? That's not right, is it? I think that's wrong. I'm reading that wrong. 12 volt. Okay. All right. So the problem often is that these little leads that go up through here to the LED break. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix that or not, but I'm going to see if I can get in there. If we can get this little lens off without breaking it, it'd be good to look at it and see if the LED's broke or just burn out. So I was able to get the lens out very easily. I've messed with these before, but it's been a while. But the LED, both of the legs do seem as if they are still welded to the two metal bars there. The LED just doesn't work, so I think the LED is just bad. If you check with the diode test, it doesn't act right either way. It's just open. So those are welded on the back side of those little bars, but I think I might be able to pry it off and just put another LED in there. I've got one that's the wrong size. But since it's under the thing, if it gives off a similar amount of light, might not be able to tell. Of course, it's going to be right next to the other one, so you probably will be able to tell, but we'll see if it saves this switch. I think they make reproductions of these now, by the way, I believe. Alright, so I'm going to see what I can do to get that LED broke off of there. And then I'm going to slide the other one down through there and solder it to those leads very carefully and try not to melt anything. And hopefully that'll get us going. There's the original one I was able to break off. And I now have a smaller one up in there. Now remember, the LED doesn't actually move, just the button around it moves. But it's smaller, you know. But the truth is, no matter what LED you replace it with, it's not going to match the used one. If I found that exact same LED and put in there, it wouldn't match the one that's in there, because the one that's in there is 40 years old. So we'll see if it's even close. If it's anywhere close, I'm leaving it out of principle. We're fixing everything on this Asteroids, people. We're down to fixing freaking switches. Killing it. We're just killing it. Okay, so I'm going to clean up the lens a little bit, and then we'll pop it back in, and then we'll go test it in the game. It's a little bit brighter than the other one. So if you were going to do this for your home game room, you might take the other one and swap that LED too, but man, it's hard for me to cut a working LED out of something and replace it with one just so it's slightly brighter. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm going to leave it how it is. Look, it's my machine. I own it. I can do what I want with it. But if you chose to do something different with yours, I would not blame you one little bit. Okay, folks, I turned up the brightness a little bit, adjusted it and the contrast a little bit, and I think I'm in a good happy medium here, where the Asteroids aren't too bright. That little, you might see a little smudge right in the middle that looks like the dot. It's not. It's a mark on the tube, actually. So there's no dot in the middle, and all of our UFOs and shots and everything are brighter than the Asteroids by at least a little bit. So I think we're good to try her out. What do you think? Let's go for it. Now I'm not great at Asteroids, but I do enjoy playing it. I like staying in the middle. Like a reverse star castle. I guess I could cheat and go UFO hunting. So I think what some people do is they leave one floating around. Oh, no, he shot it, so you can't do that. Oh, I didn't hit it quick enough. I was trying to hyperspace out of there. Oh, I didn't get around quick enough. I always thought it was neat how they don't They don't spawn you back in the middle if a rock's coming. I was a little late on the trigger. See, look, so the rocks are coming, so it waits till they leave, and then it'll pop me back up if nothing's coming like immediately. Look at him. Look at him. He shot me immediately. And then they don't leave him out there for you to shoot when you come back. Oh no, that'd be too fair. And you don't get the points if he crashes into a rock. Also known as an asteroid. A little bit of a, look at that, it's a little bit too bright right there, right there. I'm at 3130. All I've got is 3,502. 3,499,000 left to go. Wait, I'm not getting more points, right? No, I am. There we go. Mutual destruction. Okay. So clearly, we fixed the game. Let's see if I can get any better at playing it. Maybe I can fix my ability to play. Oh, I missed him. There we go. Nope, they're going to wait. Okay, there we go. Missed him. I was playing tricks. I don't know, this seems like the hard way to do it to me. This can't be how they get these high scores. They must get up to a much higher level where there's more going on and they can get more points. So I'll just have to do that. All right. There's too much going on. All right, we're up to 5,100. Boy, I'm getting there. Won't be long. I'll be at 3 million. You never get good playing how everybody else plays, people. You should play. You should figure it out yourself. How am I ever going to get the high score playing it the way the guy that got the high score right now plays it? I'm never going to be better at him, at being him. That's not a thing. I was like that, the one that just went by. Sometimes you'll see them and they look darker. It's because there's two asteroids right on top of each other. And when you shoot it, it gets lighter because you blew up one of them. Oh man, did I get him? I went off the screen. I hate to make too many small ones at once, but you know, eventually you just gotta say screw it. Look at him, he crossed the beams. Amateur. Or is it the streams? Look, people, I ain't seen it since like 1985. If you shoot it off center, it's almost always going to get you. Because when it splits, you're not in front of one of them. You're right in no damn way. If you can shoot it dead on center, it splits and goes around you. But if you shoot it a little off center, one of them almost always hits you. If I could get good at that, oh man, I should have hit the button. If I could get good at that, you know, you could just nail them right when they get near you. He got me. I thought I was going to get him. All right, folks, so leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think. It's fun working on one of these. What a great game. Oh, damn. Make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. I've had people telling me that there's a bunch of haters giving me thumbs downs. I don't care. YouTube, they just like you to do something. A thumbs down's as good as a thumbs up, so do what you feel. So we appreciate all the haters and all of the vast majority of you that are good people. I don't know why anybody would hate on a guy for playing a freaking arcade game, but whatever. They never seem to do it in person. Everybody that comes in is real cool. I meet people all the time that come in, say they saw us on YouTube, and they're always cool. But I guess that's how a hater is, right? That's how a hater will be. So leave your comments down below, even the haters. I gotta concentrate, people. There's rocks everywhere. If a game has a recent high score of 3 million points on it, doesn't that kind of prove that it's working pretty damn good? If you get it back up and running, you really don't have to worry about things like, is the board functioning right? Are the buttons working? Because obviously, or the guy wouldn't have been able to get 3 million points. So thank you to everybody that's checked out our Amazon links. If you don't know about that, if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, there is a link down below. That's our personal link to Amazon. If you follow it, anything that you choose to buy on Amazon... Oh man, I missed the button. I was trying to do a hyperspace. Get the hell out of here. Anything you buy on Amazon, after clicking our link, gives us a tip. We get a piece of it. That's pretty cool. So we appreciate everybody doing that. Wow. And make sure to check out our website. Go to lionsarcade.com. You can see prices, pictures, and descriptions of all of our games that we have for sale. Now, before we put this up on there, we're going to replace this blue leaf switch button with a white one, because that's how it was originally. We've got a bunch of new old stock white push buttons. We'll replace that one. Don't fret. If you've already left that comment, go back and edit it out. Because I have addressed the blue button. But check out our website, lionsarcade.com, and we also have a parts page on there where we have a bunch of the stuff that we use in our repairs. We've got links to them on there if you're interested in anything like that. You can go check it out. We also have like our t-shirts on there and things like that. You know that hyperspace is a deadly game to play. And if you're going to do all that, then you must be a super fan. If you're a super fan, then make sure to check out my brother's channel, my brother Donnie. If you don't know about him, he is quite literally my brother. Has his own channel here on YouTube. And if you like watching us work on these old arcade games, you may enjoy watching us work on old buildings. We've got a couple old buildings in a small town near here that we have bought and that we're fixing up, trying to help the town revitalize their downtown area. It's a small town. We have a lot of fun over there messing with that. Oh, they got me on the re-entry. So make sure to check that out. Oh, they got me from the right quarter. I want to at least get an extra man. I just can't stop playing. This is one of the greatest games of all time. I just like how whenever you shoot the asteroids, the trajectory of how they break apart. It's just so cool. It never seems random either. It seems like it does it how it's supposed to. Got you, sucker. Got you, sucker. big one get moving so fast? I didn't shoot it, or it would have blown apart. You got me on re-entry again. It's tough, people. It's tough. The struggle is real. I think you get an extra ship at 10,000 if I remember correctly, but since this is a high score save board, it might have changed the settings or something. But wow, what a cool high score save board. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. We'll see you on the next one.